Good afternoon to you. Mark Sutton of HurricaneTrack.com here with your Hurricane Pro and HD video blog for Monday, September 9th, 2013. Here's a visible satellite loop of Tropical Storm Umberto. This is the west coast of Africa right here. These are the Cape Verde Islands, and this is a Cape Verde classic tropical cyclone developing here in the warm waters between Africa and the Cape Verde Islands. This will probably go on to be the season's first hurricane if we look at the track map for it. No threat to land outside of the Cape Verde Islands, of course, but you can clearly see well-established outflow with the system. Sea surface temperatures in here are very warm. We'll take a look at that in a moment. And so it'll be steered more to the north first because of the lack of deep layer ridging sitting out here in the eastern Atlantic, but then it should weaken over this area of the ocean and turn back more to the west as a weakening tropical cyclone, just kind of drifting around over the Atlantic for the next several days. Probably going to pile up a few ACE points, that accumulated cyclone energy index. We'll pad the score just a little bit. So the sea surface temperature anomalies, like to take a look at these once a week. Look out here in the eastern Atlantic where Umberto is located, right in here. Water temperatures running about 1 degree Celsius above the average today, and that extends anywhere from 1 degree to 3/4 of a degree Celsius. Pretty good anomalies all the way through, basically. The main development region here on into the Caribbean and into the Gulf of Mexico, and then very warm water compared to average in the northwest Atlantic. We have a lot of season left and a lot of warm water that's undisturbed, plenty of upper ocean heat content. Anybody who thinks that, well, we haven't had a hurricane yet, so the season must be a dud, well, so far it is, but you never know what the next 6 weeks could hold, and I think that we're going to see much more activity starting to come to shape in this region than having to worry about what's going on out here. I think this is going to shut down fairly soon, and our primary area of focus is going to be this area in the western parts of the Atlantic Basin. Now, if we look at the GFS, this is the 12Z run, literally just coming out now. So I'm going to go through the different frames here over the next 5 days. First, the initial map. Here's Umberto, right near the Cape Verde Islands. And then I want you to watch what goes on right over here in the Bay of Campeche over the next few days. I think we're going to get development there again, and probably stronger this time. Maybe, just maybe, the second hurricane of the season for that area. We'll have to wait and see about that. So let me scroll this up just a little bit. So let's go through the frames. This is literally every 3 hours. So let's just move on through. You can see what happens with Umberto out here in the eastern Atlantic, moving west at first, and then it's going to take a jog off to the north and northwest with time as it intensifies. You see, there it goes. Look at that, pretty well represented in the model field. Very tightly packed isobars in there, or lines of equal pressure. When you see that and all that circular look to it, you know that it's a very strong system. And then there it goes, turning off to the north and northwest. Now we're out to about, let's just go out to 72 hours here. There we are, go back one. So you see Umberto really strong here northwest of the Cape Verde Islands. And then right over here in the Bay of Campeche, I'll use red to outline it, lowering pressures and maybe another system trying to develop here. This is on the 12th, Thursday the 12th. Yet another system trying to take shape. If we move on through the frames, you see the GFS pretty enthusiastic about something developing down here in the southwest Gulf, Bay of Campeche area. And so interest in the Yucatan, the Bay of Campeche, Mexico, you're going to want to watch this closely as we move through time. Slow moving system, but slowly organizing as well. Finally, when we get out to just past 5 days or so, pretty stout looking system down here in the Bay of Campeche. More heavy rain for areas that dealt with Fernan, Tropical Depression 8 most recently, and now another system trying to develop. If this gets a name, and I think it will, the GFS has been pretty good at showing development this season. When it's latched onto it, it's usually happened. And this area too has been the hotbed of development this year. We've seen Fernan, as I mentioned, and then TD8. So I don't see any reason why this won't develop. And it's going to be a big rainmaker and possibly a strong tropical storm. And you never know, maybe even a hurricane. In this part of the world, systems can spin up very, very quickly. So interest in that part of the Bay of Campeche and eastern Mexico need to watch this very closely over the coming days, and we'll talk about it often here on the update each day. And of course, you've got some great tools to keep track of that on Hurricane Pro and Hurricane HD. Well, that is it for me for today. Again, I'm Mark Sudduth for HurricaneTrack.com. That's my site. Always an honor to do these videos for you. Hope you learned something from them. I'll be back with more info for you tomorrow.